One thing that you definitely want to do, and what we do here in January, actually you can do this all all year round, but this is a really good time to do it in January because herbs take a really long time to grow. Went to the greenhouse and I picked some rosemary from our rosemary bush that will just keep on growing. I can keep on harvesting from that for pretty much ever. I got some parsley, some thyme. You can grow all these things from seed, but they take a very, very long time to grow from seed. It's much easier to grow them from cuttings. This one here we actually bought from a shop called Ignite. We bought a small packet of it and we put it into water and we grew it out from that. What I'm going to do is show you a simple way on how to grow your herbs from cuttings. If you take this from your garden or if you go and pick this up from a shop, I will show you how to do it. It's really, really simple. Here on our rosemary, here we have a rosemary bush. Of course, if you buy it from the shop, you will get smaller pieces, but that's fine. What I'm going to do is just take a couple of containers, whatever, old jars or a glass cup or whatever you can find. We're going to set that aside and we're going to start to cut this up and put it in some water. What you're looking for are pieces like this, preferably new growth, and this is kind of what you would get from the shop. This is about 15 to 20 centimeters. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut pieces like that and see how many of those I can get. I got about 16 little cuttings. What you want to look at and make sure that it's kind of new growth. This is kind of a little green. On older parts it goes a little bit brown, and here on the new ones it's a little bit green. So we want to have green cuttings that are about 15 centimeters long. This is what is left over. Very simple. I'm just going to pick it all down, throw it into a container, dry it out, and I can use that for my cooking. This is kind of what you will buy when you go to the shop. You will get a bag filled like this.
How much all?
You'll get 100, 200 grams, something like that, and it's not expensive. I can't remember how much it costs, but so that's what you will get. If you get that from the shop, what you want to do is you want to take your piece like that. If it's a little bit longer, you can cut it. So they're all pretty much the same size. Now what you want to do is you actually want to remove some of the rosemary. Look at the top of the rosemary and you want to go down around 3 or 4 leaves. So there's like a node here. There's like at the top growth. Then there's one node where leaves are coming out and then one more. So at that point you want to just hold like that and strip all the rosemary off, just like so. Just pull it off. So then you have a little stick like that with a little bit of rosemary on top. It needs less energy to go to all these leaves, which is going to help to have root growth. Plus, where these leaves have come off, those are where the new roots are going to grow. So once you have that, we just take a container and we pop it in like that. We're going to fill this container to about 1/3 of the way, so it's covering at least 3 of those leaf nodes where we've taken the leaves off. That's where the new roots are going to grow from. So let's get these all cleaned up. There we have it in the water like that. Just going to stick it in a windowsill or under some lights if you have it, but otherwise just on a windowsill. It'll take about 2 to 3 weeks and you will start to see little roots coming off. Let it go. Don't do anything with it. Let the roots get quite long, 10 centimeters. Then once you have all the roots, you just take it out and you pot it up into a small little pot and you'll have yourself a rosemary bush in the summer. Very, very simple. The same thing I'm going to do with the parsley. You have a top part with 2 stems out. Take those 2 stems away. Just going to cut it a little bit shorter. So it's like that, about 15 centimeters. And that's going to go into a container with water. So here I have about 20 cuttings. Here I have 16 We'll see how much we get from this one, but each one is going to grow roots and each one will be its own plant. So really, really simple. So here we have everything. We have separated the pieces that we can use for our cooking, and we have our rosemary, parsley and thyme in some water. Just as I said, stick it on the shelf, stick it somewhere in the kitchen, wait for the roots to grow. Once the roots grow, pot it up, and you're going to have your own fresh herbs that you can take all summer long. Next thing I want to do is something that I've actually wanted to grow for a really long time, and it does take a long time to grow. That is horseradish. Let me show you what it is and how we're going to pot it up. This is something that I wanted to grow for a really, really long time. It is horseradish. It's kind of like wasabi, if you don't know what it is. It is really, really, really nice to use in the kitchen. It's spicy like wasabi. This is something I've never seen in Mongolia, and I don't think that you can get it. So the only way to get it is to grow it yourself. It takes a really long time to grow, but once it is established, it's very evasive. So it's very hard to get rid of. So that's why we're going to do it in pots. Once you get the root, if you can get it, you just chop it down, put it into some pots and let it grow out. We are going to show you exactly this whole season how this gets on. Then I'm going to harvest it and do some really nice cooking. Just got 6 pots. I'm going to cut it down and put it in. Here we can see this is the root of the plant and it is already starting to flower. This is kind of exactly what you do with ginger. We're going to start ginger probably next week and we'll do the same process. What I'm going to do with the root is I'm just going to cut off a little bit here. That's the root inside. Really nice, spicy smell. Absolutely delicious. That I'm going to keep so we can cook with that. This part here, I'm just going to split it in half like that. So I have a little bit of plants on both. I'm going to do that for all of it. Then I have 6 pieces. Very simple, like ginger. Just put it in, maybe at a 45-degree angle, like that, and cover it up. That's pretty much it. Gonna just water it and let it grow. Once the plant comes up, I'm going to put it into much bigger pots. This is going to keep growing and we're going to harvest this probably in around October or November at the end of the year. So an exciting project. I hope this shows you how easy it is to get started on growing your own herbs at home, and you will never have to buy herbs ever again. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and a comment in the description. Keep on growing and we will see you next time.